Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are back today with another framework. Here we have our brand new Acura TLX, RLX, or whatever LX this thing is. It's definitely a clapped LX, that's for sure. This car was actually a Copart scam as well. It's sold twice on the auction. The first time, we'll throw a little picture up here for you guys to see. It was absolutely destroyed, and some genius bought it and threw it on a frame machine, pulled out the frame rail, halfway, kind of, sort of, not really. Look at that. I mean, honestly, they were about 80% done with that rail. They could have heated that up a little bit and flattened it out and smashed it all back together and welded it. And they could have actually probably sold this car normally, but they decided to be dishonest and they resold it on the auction. And one of my customers purchased the car for about $5,000 more than what they bought the car for. So they profited about $5 grand off of this vehicle, which is an insane amount of profit for the type of work.
He paid $5 grand for this paint job right here?
Yeah, you see this door was damaged. They sprayed this door. Look at the quality of the spraying on that door. I have never seen anything like it before, and they didn't even fix the dents. They just tried to make it look like the car wasn't wrecked as bad. They got a fender that matched. This is obviously an original fender from, you know, one of these cars at some point. And they just threw it on here. It doesn't match that good, but I think mostly it's because they repainted this door, although it doesn't match here either. But hood and fender have been replaced. These are not original to this car. As you can see right here, this door was damaged because this fender came back far enough to damage it. So it's a very dishonest deal, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure once we take that wheel off and that fender and everything else, we'll see a lot more going on under there that probably should not be going on under there. So we're going to have to completely remove this entire front end and cut that frame rail off along with this upper apron and replace everything. And I think that we actually have an entire piece all the way to the firewall. So I'm on the fence on whether we're gonna do the entire thing or if we're just gonna chop in a couple of pieces or what we're gonna do. I guess we'll decide once we actually get it up on the rack. So we're gonna get this thing up on the rack and we're going to assess all the damages and see what and how far we have to go with it. Well, the only thing that we really have to pull out would be the dashboard. Although, motor would probably be better to take out. But I don't know, man. We need to take out this ECU module and this fuse box and see how much damage is under there. What if it's not crazy damage under there?
You never know. I mean, dude, we could take that off and it could just be all buckled and busted under there.
Yeah, dude, this is an insane job.
So what, motor's coming out, motor's not coming out?
I don't know, the motor might need to come out.
Dang. This job is not looking good.
Golly, man. I just wanna go to sleep right here. Nate, go ahead and let this thing run me over, man. I don't wanna look.
Who's gonna fix it?
I don't know, bro, but I'll have a good excuse not to. I'm just looking at this, man. Oh, God.
Well, you gotta replace the whole rail?
I mean, that would be the best way to do it. Somebody said, oh, I'll watch your videos if you don't complain about all the hard work. Well, buddy, why don't you come down here and do it for me then? Whoever said that, you have a job opening here at Certified at 23rd Garage. You better be here Monday, and you better be on point on that frame machine. All right, so I don't know, Nate. What do you think? You want the motor out of it?
Let's put it on the frame rack.
I'll hang that motor up to that pole right there and back up and yank it out.
Let's just put it on the frame rack and start taking stuff apart.
Put it up there and just start tearing stuff down.
Well, because you're gonna want to drive it up there.
Well, yeah, I want to drive it. I ain't never drove an Acura. We just removed all the front end, well, most of the front end parts off of here, and we have exposed a lot of very, very nasty things. If you look in this wheel well, you will see that this wheel must have been way back here at some point, or something hit it pretty hard right there. And then look at this. This is really bad right here. Look how they welded that on. They just pigeon pooped it on there just to get that fender on there. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I've seen a lot of dishonesty in my life, and this right here takes the top 3. Look at this frame rail. Completely destroyed. Upper apron, mid apron, completely destroyed. Core support, completely destroyed. Look at that. Look at that. Like, why would you want this on your car, man? You know? And then look at this. ECU. Completely destroyed, but it still works. I don't know what we're gonna do with this. I guarantee you though, if we straighten this out, it'll stop working.
That's what I was gonna say. I would
not touch with a hammer, or you do anything to this thing right here, I guarantee you this car is not gonna start back up.
I wouldn't do nothing to that.
Therefore, we're going to have a little powwow with the client and see what he wants to do. I would recommend possibly getting a new one, but it all depends on how much money he wants to spend. I think he's probably a little too deep in this car already, so it's gonna be up to him.
Man, them Honda computers probably like 50 cents.
Oh, I don't know about that, man. You see it says Denko right there, and then it says Nito. Nitos are pretty expensive. Look at that, Nito grappler. Why they got a little Nito grappler right here? But anyways, what we need to do now, I believe we need to keep on stripping it. We need to strip off the cowl section. I may end up having to pull the motor.
Gotta pull the motor, gotta pull the dashboard, gotta pull everything.
I think we're gonna end up having to pull all of it.
Front suspension, everything, man.
Yeah, just completely tear the entire car down in the front.
There's no way to properly do this without doing that.
You think so?
I don't want to be sitting there worried about the dash burning or something like that.
That is true. Like that one car.
Which car?
That gold Civic. Remember when I said, I don't care if it burns? And then look, I'm welding, I look up and I see flames licking the windshield.
Crazy.
Hey, I had that dashboard off and I found a new one in the attic and I put it back on and guess what? Boom, car was on its way. Sort of. But anyways, so what do you think, Nate? Should we take the dash off first or should we pull the motor first? Like, does it even matter at this point?
I mean,
what's gonna be easier?
We could just start doing both.
That is true, but it would probably be better if we both like jumped on the dash first, ripped the dash out, you know, and then
the dash got to come out first.
Yeah, so look, if we take the dash out, we strip the interior out first, and then we move on to the motor. You know, our hands won't be all dirty.
That's true.
You know,
that is true.
You know, you got clean hands. You out there in that interior, and you're not keeping anything dirty.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I guess we can just start pulling the dashboard.
Hey, does the glass have to come out?
Oh, glass got to come out.
Go ahead and cut the glass out first then.
Why is that?
Actually, it don't matter.
It'd be easier to cut it out with the dash out.
It's just
you ain't gonna be dripping on the dash.
I mean, yeah, you ain't. But usually, like with the glass in, there's like bolts and stuff that are annoying. But we'll see.
What I usually do is I usually take a 22 and I shoot through the glass, and then you can stick a screwdriver through the hole.
Now you gotta use a 45. 22 is too small.
Well, it just depends on how big the boat is.
Yeah.
All right, let's pull the dash. All right, so we have removed the engine. We have also removed the dashboard. Look at this. We've completely exposed this entire destroyed frame rail. And as you guys can see, it is pretty bad. It does need to be replaced. And I thought about sectioning this frame rail, but when you look right here, you can see that there's a substantial kink right here, and it actually broke the metal of the frame rail. And if you look on this side, it's supposed to be pretty straight and pretty nice. And I'm very happy that this frame rail right here doesn't have any damage, because that means we can just focus all our efforts on this side right here. And since we do have a brand new section all the way to the firewall, it's going to make it a very nice and clean repair. So super excited to get this thing done. What we need to do right now, Nate, we need to wire wheel all of this seam sealer off of all the areas where we are going to be removing the spot welds. That way we can get to them and drill them out and remove this frame rail. And then we'll start working on getting a new one on here. Right here, we also have a section here that is smashed in. I don't know if we're gonna replace that or not. We do have that piece, but we might just pull it out. I don't know. What do you think, Nate?
Down there?
Yeah, this little. Oh. It's not. It doesn't hold anything, and nothing bolts to it. It's just, I guess it's just a structural part of the car, and it is smashed in quite a bit. So I don't know. I feel like we may end up having to replace that.
Yeah.
At least pull it out.
Well, I would pull it out. Well, I mean, you're kind of already getting in there.
No, I'm not.
Oh, actually, no. You're far away from that.
Yeah, I'm right here. So I'm pulling this off. I'm pulling this off. I'm pulling this off. And this is like a double wall because it has a firewall on that side. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be that big of a deal, I don't guess. Maybe. I think we're just gonna have to straighten it out.
Yeah, I think we could easily straighten it out. We got all that access on the inside. I mean,
well, it's a double wall, so you really have no access to the inside. But
you get your PDR tools in there, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
Hey, you see that bracket right there?
What bracket?
If somebody guesses what that bracket is from.
This bracket?
Yeah. Guess where that bracket's from.
It's not from this car?
Does it look like it's from this car? Where do you think that bracket's from?
Wait, what the heck did they do?
Exactly.
Nah, you're telling me that bracket doesn't go there?
Go look on the other side.
Oh, Lord. Where we been? Oh, I hope that new piece has that. I really do hope that new piece has that. Should we go grab it?
What if it doesn't have it?
I'm gonna go grab it. Hold on. Looks like we got the whole dang 25% of the vehicle.
Yeah, you got just about everything we need.
Yep. Yep. I wonder how hard it would be to pop that thing off.
Oh, that looks actually...
That actually doesn't even look that bad.
That doesn't look like a lot of... I like how they make cars, dude. That's like genius engineering.
You know, just a couple of spot welds, some metal, and some welding, and some bolts. Yeah, so what I think I'm gonna do, Nate, I'm gonna go and get drill bits. In the meantime, while I'm getting drill bits...
Would you want me to take some seam sealer off?
No, don't tell me. No! Bastards! You see that?
We can't use that?
Scrap the whole operation, man.
Not for real?
Scrap the whole operation.
Nah.
Look, they cut the edge of the frame rail. We can't abide by that, man. This is 23rd garage. We see, now we're not replacing the entire rail. Now we're just replacing a section of it.
I mean, yeah, unless we have that last piece.
If we can't get this last piece right here, then
we don't have a full frame
we can't
rail.
certify this rail.
Dude, they're not gonna. It's not gonna pass. It's not gonna pass any inspections, dude.
Okay, it's okay. We'll deal with that later. We'll have to put in a request form for a corner. Okay, I'm gonna go get the bits, Nate, and what you're gonna do is. What you're gonna do is. All right, so we have removed the frame rail, and you know, at first I was like, man, that's gonna suck having to pull that frame rail off. But dude, it's not even like really connected at all, is it, Nate?
Dude, this thing.
Like 14 spot welds.
Yep.
And I'm like, people are out there like crying. Like sometimes you'll weld something or something, and somebody will be like, "Is this safe?" Look how this frame rail is connected. Like. If I was building this car, I would have over-engineered this area so much, it would have been like solid steel. But I guess the manufacturers, they know what they're doing, somewhat, you know? So
they know how to save money.
They know how to do it. So now we need to just straighten out some of these little dents here and there, and then take this piece off. Once we take this off, this area right here is ready to receive the frame rail. Then we need to move on to straightening this out. Either we'll straighten that out or we'll replace it. I do not know for a fact yet. I kind of don't want to be replacing it because it's structural steel and it's very hard to drill through. Like next to impossible.
It ain't hard if it's liquid.
Well, yeah, but you can't liquefy everything. As much as I would love to liquefy this vehicle, we have to actually get it done right, sir. So, you know, we just have to keep on trucking. Just determination and, what was that called? Perseverance. Perseverance, never give up. Don't ever give up on anything you do in life. What?
Thermite. Spot weld burning tool. Tell me that would be
Nah, you know what tool we need for
it would just blast through the spot weld.
We need that tool that guy had from No Country for Old Men, where he was killing people with that cattle prod thing. You hold it up right there and it just punches it out. That's what we need. Where can I get one of those?
Dude, this is a lot of work.
Yeah, this is. Dad came over here and he put some bad juju on me. He told me this was too much work. And after that, I was just like, dang, this is over. This car's totaled. Hard to believe this car is a clear title. Never been wrecked. Never been wrecked. As a matter of fact, Granny only drove it to church on Sundays. You know? All right, I don't even know what to do. I just kind of want to give up. But remember what I said earlier?
You think we'll get it back together?
Did you get that on camera? I didn't do that. Do you think we'll be able to get it back together? I don't even know, dude. Did you see how much stuff we took off of this car?
Yeah, it's all in that little box
Look at
over there.
this. Oh my word. Here's what we need to do, Nate. We need to clean up this frame machine, slick it all down, clean up all that antifreeze, and get ready for phase 2. Phase 2 is going to be super exciting. It's something you guys ain't never seen before. Check it out, we got the front end on the Acura and everything lines up absolutely perfectly. I love how the gaps look original. Nate, show them the gaps. Hop up there and show them the gaps. Show them how nice these gaps are. Factory original gaps on both sides. We do not have this center bumper piece. I did not know that it was separate from the bumper, so it is what it is. We'll get it. Perfect gap on this side, and we have not welded it yet, simply due to the fact that we wanted to obviously. Hold on, let me try to open. So right now everything is simply bolted up. It's bolted onto the subframe, and it's got a couple of bolts here and there. Everything lines up perfect. I am amazed at how well everything lined up, and it's really good because once we weld all this and seam all that up factory-like, you are not going to be able to tell where this car was wrecked, because once all that gets put together and all this is painted, how are you going to know where this vehicle was wrecked? We've got a factory core support. We've got a factory strut tower, frame rail, apron, everything is factory. We've got factory fender. So like, I mean, you're really not gonna know. Besides that right there, where a douchebag decided to put a self-tapping screw. I don't know why he did that. I don't know what we're gonna do about that, Nate. What do you think?
We've got multiple of those.
What?
Self-tapping screws in this car.
You want to just add one? What are we gonna do about the hole? We're gonna leave it?
No, we'll just put a self-tapping screw right in there for structural support.
No. We cannot do that. But look, check this out. Right here, look how perfectly we've got it lined up. So it's lined up exactly perfectly to that factory seam. And then look, where I ground out this weld and that weld, look, it matched up exactly perfect. Like, how does that even happen? You see that, Nate? The exact weld that I ground out right there, it matches up the exact weld that I ground right there. So it's like, it's almost like it was already one piece. You know, that usually happens when you have like a professional working, you know, sometimes you hire the right guy and he gets it done. And then look under here. Well, I guess you can't, but right here, we have all these different sections overlapping. So this is how you want to replace any kind of structural parts. You want to replace it with pieces like that are overlapping in different sections, because that gives it strength. You know, instead of just cutting something off and butt welding it together, if you put it back together on the factory points, then you'll get that factory strength back. And we're gonna weld all that up and seam it all up real nice. As you can see, we got the weld through primer already on there from both sides, real nice and thick. So once we get all that welded up, we'll get it primed, get it sealed, and then we'll spray cavity wax inside that frame rail. We'll get it to where it's not gonna rust again. It's gonna all be factory original, and the car is going to be safe and it's going to look good. That's a plus, I think. Look at that. It's gonna be original, man. When the inspector looks under here, he's gonna be like, well, by golly, boys, I don't think this thing's ever been in an accident. No, sir. Nope. All right. All right, so tomorrow we are going to go ahead and weld this thing up and get it painted and probably start assembling, putting the engine in and everything. But that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, hit that like button. And also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well. It really helps us out, it keeps us motivated. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.